What's up, guys? It's a new year. Things have finally happened. Parts have finally started showing up because I finally got money for them. The garage is almost clean, in which I will show you. But it's a new year, so let's start the year off on a positive note. There's been some changes in the garage aside from me cleaning. This is not a permanent way this is gonna happen, but I have added light. I never realized how dark it was in here until I did that. So now you can see, and I also got a camera stand so I can set that up. So between the light and the camera stand, I'm hoping you'll be able to see everything I'm doing. I'm still probably gonna do time-lapse stuff through the actual work part of it. I'm not trying to do a tutorial channel, so I don't really think y'all want me to explain how to do every little thing. If somebody does have a question, I can go back and show you. But at least now I can set the stand up, work with two hands, and do a time lapse to show, kind of what I'm doing, and you can see start to finish how everything goes on and how the engine is coming together with all the new parts. Aside from that, the garage is mostly cleaned up. There is some stuff that is out because I'm getting rid of it. All that exhaust is gonna go. That's all from when I was doing LS stuff. It's a bunch of stainless steel stuff. I got a friend that wants that. Over in this box over here, which the box is gonna go, we have a 1994 GMC replacement radiator, a brand new radiator. We're gonna go ahead and use a factory radiator on the truck, and I got a kit to convert from a Cummins to a factory radiator without having to go buy a bunch of hoses and cut them up and try to make my own. I found a company that makes one, so I was like, hey, factory radiator will fit in the factory location. Let's go ahead and do that. Over here on this shelf, this is, well, aside from this is because I need to clean stuff, is where I've been gathering some of the new parts. These are new belts for the new front drive pulley kit that I have. Here are the motor mounts and everything, so we can drop this motor right into the 1994 chassis. We have some AC parts, an oil filter, a new fan clutch. Over there we have a new AC condenser, since I live in Texas. For the people that do live in Texas, it is miserable here. The humidity is ridiculous. I'm in Houston. You have to have air conditioner, and if you have kids in the car, you really have to have air conditioner. And the whole point of me building this truck was because I want my family to go in it and not just me. So I want air conditioner, I want the kids to be cool, I want everybody to be happy. I want this thing to be a reliable custom driver. I want to be able to pull trailers with it. And that leads me into my next thing. This transmission that I have, it's a 46RE. This is not the most popular transmission to use on this truck. I'm not 100% sure this transmission was always with the motor. It was with the motor when I bought it, and it was with the motor when the last guy I got it from got it. But typically in the Cummins Diesel, they come with a 47RE, and if they had a 46RE, this plate, okay, well, this is a plate, so this might actually be the right one, so you can run a bigger converter on it. So I need to get under there and check if that pops off. So this could be the correct one if I can pop that plate off. But it's still not the popular one. The one that you want is the 47. This is the 46. I don't think this is going to hold up to a lot. I might run it for a little while since it does bolt right up to the truck, just to get the truck moving under its own power. But I have pulled my Allison 6-speed off the market. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I've done some research. I found an adapter kit. It is not a cheap adapter kit, but it is an adapter kit to put that on, and I found a decently priced electronic computer shift system. That way I can mount this to the back side of the Cummins. I'll have to build my own mount. I'm probably gonna have to cut out the floor of the truck to mount this thing in there. But this is the transmission to have. Even when I asked if I could sell this thing as a core to a transmission shop, he was like, no, because I don't ever really rebuild those things because they don't break. So if that doesn't break, then that's the one I want. So we're gonna go ahead and start setting myself up to do the Allison. I'm hoping maybe in a month or so, I'll go ahead and I'll order the plate. But until then, I'm gonna try to get the engine in the truck with the Dodge transmission and kind of go from there. More parts. Down here, you can see I have the front drive pulley kit. We got a brand new AC compressor, brand new alternator, billet 2-belt pulley. We have the offset fan mount because my fan mount was the one that was up here that was kind of crooked. I really need that one if I want all this stuff to clear, and apparently everybody says use the mechanical fan. I'm all about doing electric fans, but everybody says use the mechanical fan. It's way better, especially if you want to tow. I'm not really planning on doing a whole lot of towing, but if I have a Cummins powered crew cab dually, I feel like I should be able to tow if I need to. I would like to put a gooseneck hitch in this when I do the air ride system. Again, I don't own a gooseneck trailer. I don't own any trailer, but if I had to hook to a gooseneck, it would be nice to know that I could just hook it on there and pull the thing. So kind of from here, I'm going to set the camera up and probably set it into a time lapse, and we're going to start putting parts on this thing. I need to get the new main seal on the timing cover, clean the cover up a little bit, and then try to remember where all these bolts go, but we're going to go for it. I got a new thermostat. I forgot to get a gasket for it, so that's going to have to hold off. I just have to take the AC compressor bracket off. Not a big deal to get to that. But I would like to get everything on the front of this thing tonight and put the new engine mounts on it. That way this is ready to set in the truck as soon as the opportunity comes to bring the truck home. The garage is pretty much ready for it. I just need this thing put together so I can move it to that side of the garage, bring the truck home, get it in here into this space. I'm thinking I'm gonna hang up the second TV I have over on this wall and have 2 TVs in here. I know that sounds really dumb and my wife is not thrilled about that. I got this TV for free. My dad gave it to me because there's a big dark spot in it, but you only notice it on a white screen, and since I'm using it on a computer, I don't notice it often. Reason for 2 TVs is I use my TVs because I'm not a mechanic and I have to YouTube a lot of stuff. So it's cool if I'm working on the truck this way, I can't see that behind me. I can reference off the one next to me because they'll both play the same thing. So if I'm looking up wiring diagrams, anything, and I'm under the hood, I don't have to sit there and turn around. And I know that sounds really lazy, but I have 2 TVs and we're talking about like $40 for a mount, a splitter, and a cable. So I might as well do it. Yeah, it'll be kind of a novelty, but mostly I think it will be useful for what I do. And since that TV was free and it's not great, you know, might as well hang up the one that I've had forever and put it up too. But most of all, you know, Happy New Year. I know we're already into the new year a little bit. I've been waiting to buy all these parts. I appreciate y'all guys hanging in there for, man, I want to say I started these videos maybe almost 2 to 3 months ago, at least making them. And all I have done is talked about, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to do this, and now it's all here. So, and I have parts still shipping on the way. I mean, I've been buying stuff like crazy. It's time to get this thing in the truck and get, you know, kind of moving on it. I'm not sure I'm going to make it to Lone Star Throwdown, but I am going to try like hell to do it. The goal is to have the engine in the truck, be able to start the truck, and hopefully drive the truck on and off the trailer under its own power. Yes, that means I'm going to have to build a drive shaft for a transmission that I'm not planning on using, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to get the Allison in there. It could be a while, you know. We'll see kind of just how things work out, because I still need to order a fuel pump system and some other stuff. So we're just going to kind of go with it, see what happens, and hopefully I make it. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to set the camera up and we'll start into the time lapse of getting this thing together.
Perfect.
Well, the night got kind of cut short. I didn't get as much done as I wanted because I don't have a tool. And this always seems to happen. I really wish I would build a Harbor Freight closer to me because I had enough time that if there was one close by, I could have got there and got what I needed. What I need is a seal kit to press the seal into the timing cover correctly. I don't want to just wing it and mess up these seals. These seals are like $40 a piece, so messing them up is not ideal trying to put it in some other way. The seal I'm talking about is this timing seal. To really get it in there properly, because it pushes in from the back and it pushes in. I'd really like to do it on a press to get it in there completely even. Basically, you set this this tool in and it keeps it from going too far, and that's what sets the height of it inside the actual timing cover. That's no big deal. I just don't have the actual tool to put on the back side of it to kind of tap it in there without messing it up. And I don't want to mess it up because, like I said, it's $40. I'd hate to waste the money on that. And this actually came with that Auto World conversion kit for the all the belts and everything, the front drive. It also came with the block plate. Originally, my oil came in from the timing cover, so that will block that off and no longer come in through there. And then they also sent me the front valve cover that has the oil cap on, so I can fill my oil from the actual valve cover now. What I did do is I went ahead and I put on some of the stuff. It's just kind of on there loose. I did get a new tensioner. I think I have a pulley for that needs to go on there. There's a new water pump on there with a new gasket. I got this all actually bolted down on here for the alternator. All of that is out of the way of the actual timing stuff, so I can still get the cover on there, no big deal. I just can't put the fan drive, the pulley that the fan actually sits on has a piece that now actually comes over towards the middle and lines it up with the crank. I cannot put that on there until I get the actual tool to finish that. Not a big deal. It's a bummer that it killed my night for me because I do not get a lot of time to work on this. Usually when I work on this stuff, it's because my parents are helping out and they take care of my kids while my wife is at work, and that allows me to kind of get this stuff done, over the course of about 2 to 3 hours that I have to kind of do this. I guess the good news is I have time to edit this video and post it up on YouTube, so there is that. I did, as you see, I got the engine mount on the driver's side. I ran into a little bit of a problem on the passenger side. I'm hitting the turbo oil drain, so I need to refigure out either the oil drain or shave off some of that engine mount. I don't think it would be a big deal to cut the corner on that thing. I don't think it's going to weaken anything, so I may just do that. That way I can keep the same drain line, but I will look at what my options are as far as a drain line goes. The nice thing about this kit, and a huge shout out to Auto World Conversions, they were super helpful. They stayed on the phone with me. I told them what I wanted. They helped do all of this to make this thing fit in a 2-wheel drive to where I can keep my factory hood and also run the fan. So this thing should sit without any cutting of the firewall and also be able to run the factory fan on the factory radiator using the factory style AC compressor and a GMC alternator. So this whole setup should set in the truck like it belongs in a GMC using this. Do I know that yet? No, I don't. I'm not gonna find out until I actually get it in there. But they seem very confident, and they've been doing this for a while, and they're very helpful. So if you do need to buy a setup like this, it's by the time you ship it, and I also had to, like I said, get that different bracket that moves the fan drive over. The whole setup was probably about $1,400 shipped to my door. Not cheap by any means, but from everybody I talked to online, that is the setup to go with. And like I said, from all that when I was talking to them and everything, they really seemed super knowledgeable about this, and I do trust that this setup is going to be the easiest just to set in there and have it in there like it was meant to be in there. And that's what I'm going for. I am going for as factory looking as possible. I mean, yes, I'm gonna paint this whole engine and make it look crazy, and eventually we're gonna throw a bigger turbo and a manifold on there. But as far as like the pulley and everything, it's nice because they sent me the belts, they sent me everything. So I can set up a parts number list, and then like I can go and get these belt numbers, and I always know what I need to buy as far as maintenance goes. This engine has about, from what I'm told, about 160,000 miles on it. So, you know, it's a Cummins, it's gonna go forever, but being able to do maintenance stuff is huge. My LS truck before, whenever something would mess up, I was constantly searching for part numbers to try to do the repairs. So it will be nice knowing everything that's on here, what belts I need, what alternator I'm running, what AC compressor I'm running, what tensioner I can use, and it all just be kind of either the Cummins, the GM, or the parts that came from that kit. So that is super awesome, and like I said, I could not, you know, recommend them enough if you want to do a conversion like this into your Chevy or GMC. They also have stuff for 4x4 applications. They have stuff for the HD applications. They really know their stuff, and they can tell you, you know, just by looking at pictures of what you have, what you will need to make this happen. So I do appreciate all the help that they gave me getting this set up. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight, go inside, start editing this video. It takes me like 2 hours to do these edits. So that's really gonna be it tonight. Again, I really appreciate y'all watching. Hoping we can really kick this new year off, and hopefully by February we can have the truck here with the engine setting in it and start setting up all the wiring, figuring out the cooling system, the power steering system. I did order a power steering line that's supposed to go from this Cummins power steering box straight into the power steering on the GM. It's from another conversion company. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head, but I will probably post it up once we get to that point. They're the same people that made the radiator hose kit that goes from the factory 6.5 radiator to this engine. So I can't wait to see how all that stuff mocks up. I still need an intercooler. I've heard I can use a Power Stroke 731 and actually fit it in without huge amounts of cutting. So we'll see how that turns out, and then I'm probably gonna have to have someone TIG weld me up some piping for the intercooler. There is a lot of stuff to figure out, but I need to get the engine in there, get it all in, set in, figure it out, and that way I can pull the engine back out, clean it up, get all the stuff that needs to be powder coated, paint the block, figure out what I need to do the fuel system. I don't know if this has been done yet until I get into it, but you can do a fuel pin on these, and it helps a lot as far as the power goes for a cheap amount of money. It changes the governor spring on it, and it pretty much almost makes it a 40 horsepower gain just off changing this fuel pin inside this pump. So I do want to do that. The problem is I don't know, it could already have it in there. I could get in there and find out I just wasted my time taking it all apart. But that's a risk I'm willing to take, and I'll probably do that. Powder coat, I've kind of already gone on here, if you see, and marked different things I want powder coat. I want to do the fuel lines, I want to do this intake. I'm probably going to get rid of the grid heater because I live in Texas and I don't really need it, and put just a delete on there. Valve covers, and then also of course the front drive stuff is going to get powder coats. Right now it's in raw metal, even though it looks like it's painted silver. So lots of powder coating I want to get done, and then paint the block. Probably change the freeze plugs with billet ones, do some other billet little pieces on it to clean it up and make it look pretty trick, and get it in the engine bay, and hopefully everything will look good. So again, I appreciate y'all guys watching. Like and subscribe to the videos if you want to follow along. I'm hoping I can start posting more often now that I have parts here and I have something to make content on. If y'all have any questions, leave it in the comments. But again, I appreciate y'all. Have a good night.